Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to change a sprinkler head. So we're going to dive into replacing sprinkler heads and using risers. So there's a couple reasons you may need to replace your sprinkler head. Maybe you got hit by a lawnmower, or it could have gotten just kicked and damaged. Also, the plastic down around the ring sometimes can break or become brittle and cause a bad seal. If it's just the sprinkler head that you're replacing and there's nothing else that's wrong with your system, it's a really straightforward fix. What you're going to want to do is grab the sprinkler head at the body of the sprinkler, twisting until it comes off of that riser. And then if there's nothing else wrong with the sprinkler system, if you didn't have any leaks outside of the sprinkler head, it's as simple as putting a new sprinkler head back in directly where that other sprinkler head existed. Notice that we didn't dig any holes or cause any other additional damage around the sprinkler head. That's because at the end of the video, we're going to flush the entire line anyway, and so if there was any dirt or residue that may have fallen into your pipeline, it'll all get washed out at the end. Let's talk about the risers. Now, when you were pulling out that sprinkler head to replace it the first time, there's very possible that one of these little guys came out along with the sprinkler head. These can come in a couple of different sizes. This one, which is pretty short, or they can come in over a foot long and add additional height onto your sprinkler system. Now, if this gets caught inside of your sprinkler head and you need to get it out, there is a tool called a nipple extractor. They're sold at Home Depot. Best $5 you can possibly spend if you're going to do any type of work on your sprinkler system. All this does is it actually goes into that nipple there, and you can unscrew it, and you can just extract that from the sprinkler head if it's caught in your sprinkler head. If it's caught in your sprinkler system and it is causing a leak, then you just do the same thing. You take the nipple extractor and you put it inside of that nipple and you just pull it out until it releases. Now, a couple other reasons these risers come in handy are the height of your sprinkler system. As you can see, I've got a couple of sprinklers in my yard that are now getting buried underneath the dirt. Now for that, I need a higher riser so that that dirt doesn't consume the sprinkler head. And now in the inverse of that, I have a couple of sprinklers that are too high in the yard. If you have a yard that is lower in one point, the lower sprinklers may have more power and more water coming out of them than the higher elevation of the sprinklers. That will cause part of your yard not to get as much water. So all you're going to do to fix that is to take a higher riser than what you previously had attached to the sprinkler head and add height. It's the same concept of taking the extractor and pulling out the riser and either adding a taller or a shorter variation. Now, there are a couple different kinds. There are the ones that are fixed. So as you can see, you can't cut this shorter or taller depending on your needs, but they also make ones where they have individual lines drawn on there. So what you can do is cut these off based on your needs or the height that you need for the riser. I use a hacksaw for that, or just a straight edge, whatever works for you. The one thing I would suggest is to make sure that you sand or shave off any burrs that are on the riser once you've cut it. Because if you leave any of those on there, it will cause things to catch or build up inside of your sprinkler system and will cause errors down the road. And the last thing I'd suggest after working on a sprinkler system is just to make sure that you give it a good flush. That means you're going to take the top off of the sprinkler head and turn on the sprinkler system for just a couple of moments. That'll clean out the dirt or any residue that may have fallen in while you were working on your sprinkler system. Once you've got it cleaned, all you have to do is put the sprinkler head back on and you're good to go. Please, if you like this video, like and subscribe down below.